Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are well. Happy Thursday. I hope all is well. Thank you to the replay viewers, any that are watching from the computer, from Twitter. Thank you guys for tuning in. I wanted to do a quick video because I had a couple of things that came up when I hosted my last workshop. So I wanted to talk about those and just explain a couple of things to kind of like an observation that I had and see if anyone wanted to give me any input on what we talk about. So thank you guys for joining. My name is Shakita Lee. I am a social media coach to authors and solopreneurs. I help simplify social media. So what that means is I help you figure out what platforms work best for your business, what content will work best for your business. We work to figure out what your strong points are, where your audience is if you have no idea just yet, and where you should be putting your focus at and how to build your audience. And that's what I help you guys to do. Anyone who's interested out there, but that is what I help people coach. I coach people on, whether it's solopreneurs, or whether it's authors. So to connect with me, you can go to bit.ly/SL Media LLC and we can chat. So I hosted two mini workshops and here locally in Virginia. And the last one was last week. And what I did was I kind of broke up the way that I did the workshop. So opposed us to having it all in one day, I did it 2 separate days, although I did have 2 times set for both workshops, for the person that's free in the early afternoon and then for the person that's free after 5 o'clock. The first workshop that I did was creating social media buzz. And the second workshop that I did was creating a smart strategy for social media. And it was when I hosted these workshops that I realized that, number one, when it comes to social media, people jump into the pool of social media. They jump into the pool of social media. They jump on all platforms, but sometimes they just don't know what they're supposed to do. So think of it as you being in a real pool, right? Someone, whether they pushed you or you jumped. You got into that pool. So what you do when you're in the pool, you're going to, make sure that you are treading water so that you don't go under. And that's what happens when it comes to social media. People will get on various platforms because someone has told them they need to be on all these platforms. And all they're doing is treading water, just being there. Or sometimes on the platform, but not really on the platform. They're not posting, but they've created their account, but they don't know what they should do. They don't know what they should post. They don't even know if they should be up there because they're not sure if their audience is up there. Now, I thought about this when I hosted the workshop because it was a lot of things that I talked about that when we talked about it, it was like question marks, but it's like, but you're on these platforms, right? So you're on them. So what are you doing? Well, not really nothing. And they, hey, Julie, they got on there because someone told them that they needed to be up there because as a business owner, you should be on this platform. You should be on that platform. Thank you for inviting followers. And then in the second session that I had, one of the, attendees said, listen, I just went to a social media workshop a week ago and I didn't get any of this stuff. And I'm like, what kind of, and I understand everyone learns social media differently and everybody teaches social media differently. And I know that I do. I go backwards. Like even if you're on the platform, right? If you're really not doing anything or your audience is not up there, you really shouldn't be up there. But I talk about the basics. I talk about plain and simple things. Like, for example, your profile picture. For example, your bio being filled out. I talk about all of those things. And when I did that, what a lot of people did at the free time during our workshop is go back into things and start making changes. And they're like, well, I never knew that. So it's like these workshops were very helpful. I definitely because there were many workshops, I did something totally different. It was very small, like boutique style. And I worked with everyone individually. It was no one person there that was feeling lost. Everyone got their time one-on-one, answered their questions one-on-one. And that was important to me. And I'm like, well, you've been on this platform for how long? So what are you doing? I don't know. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I post 10 times a day. Like, why do you post 10 times a day when you're supposed to be working? Well, that's what I was told I was supposed to be. And now I'm tired and I'm burnt out. And I'm like, no. And it really dawned on me when I hosted these 2 sessions that people really do, they learn differently, and they teach people who talk about social media, they talk about things differently. I think sometimes some people, when they talk about social media, they talk about the bigger picture instead of starting at where people are to get to the bigger picture. Like you got to help someone where they are before they can get to the bigger picture. Because if they haven't built up an audience, if they're not even on the platform, if they're not even posting, how are they going to get to the bigger picture of what you're seeing, what you're telling them? So it made me realize when I did these 2 workshops, how much differently, people that teach social media are really telling people, and or not telling people. That was the crazy part about it, because I talked about various things in both workshops, but the first workshop was really about creating a social media buzz, and it really got back to the basics. And then the second workshop is like, okay, so let's get your strategy in place. And I've started a social media book, and I've been started the social media book, but I am, releasing this social media book very, very soon. And it's called Social Media One-on-One. It will be focusing on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, those 3 platforms. And it is kind of going back to the basics of social media, but it's things that I talk about a lot, on the group. I talked about a lot in the workshop, but it's the basics. So if you are on a platform and you really don't understand, but you're on there because your coach told you to be up there, or because your upline told you to be up there, or because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, so you're up there, but you're really not up there, this book will help to guide you on the basics. 101. It is the pros and the cons for all of the 3 platforms, and what you should be doing on all 3 platforms, and how your platform should be set up to benefit you. One of the things I always talk about is that social media is our new business card. It is our digital business card, point blank, period. No matter what, if you are a business owner, or if you're an author or writer and you are on some sort of social media platform, people are looking you up. So that in essence is your business card. So if you have, your platforms on your business card, or you have your platforms, that you may tell people to connect with you, but they're really not set up to benefit you, they're definitely not going to benefit anybody that you're referring to come to your platforms and follow you and or like your page. You want someone to like your page, but you have nothing on your page. So I talk about a lot of that in the book. It is available for pre-order on my website, because I need to make sure that when I come on to, especially Periscope, in my group, on my biz page, I am always teaching and talking about various things when it comes to social media. Some stuff is strictly all social media, and some stuff is for authors. But in essence, an author that is running their business is going to use this information, but it really is going to help. Yes, you definitely do. And is it Taylor? Thank you for joining, Taylor. Oh, Sharice Taylor. Thank you for joining. You definitely must do that. I'm astonished sometimes when people say to me, I'm going to start promoting on my business page. Okay, so what do you have up there? Nothing. So you have nothing promoted on you don't have nothing on your business page, but you want people to like you. They have to see what you're posting up there. they have to know what they're going to be getting. But if you're only posting once a month, and they're not going to like your page. They're not going to like your page. So that's why I say that I figured out that I teach social media differently. I mean, and I know when this person said they just went to a social media event and they didn't even hear nothing of this, I'm like, so what is it that you actually learned? And I hope that you didn't pay to go to that event, because that is just crazy. There's no other word, just crazy. So I just wanted to do a quick video just talking about it. If you caught this video later, just a quick roundup. I actually hosted 2 events here in Virginia. One was a week ago. The first one was 3 weeks ago. First one was called Creating Social Media Buzz. And the second one was creating a smart strategy. So the social media buzz part was about kind of like the basics when it comes to social media. And then the creating smart strategy was the strategy to have and the game plan to follow when you're on social media. And I separated out both of those workshops to make it accommodating, because sometimes, for me, myself, I would love to go to an event, but my preference to go to an event would be Saturday, because during the week, it's like I'm running, working, and then I come home and you just never know when you get that phone call, Mom, can you come and get me? So Saturday always works better for me when I do attend any type of conferences. I feel like that is a restful day for me. So even if I get up early in the morning and have the conference from 8 to 2, 8 to 3, that works for me. But during the week, it seemed like because you're doing so much, you're drained. So I wanted to make sure when I separated out those 2 workshops, I gave 2 separate times for people to be able to attend. So if you don't work, or you work, early shift, you can come to the early afternoon. If not, you can come to the after 5 conference or workshop time. So I did 2 of those recently, but it's all narrowing down to social media, like really getting back to the basics of social media, because sometimes people don't understand certain things when it comes to certain platforms. Like, you shouldn't be on every platform. You shouldn't, unless it's just because you want to be on the platform. But you can't have your business everywhere. You can't sell to everybody everywhere, because your customers are not everywhere. So you have to know who it is that you're selling to, or you're trying to connect with or collaborate with. So quick video. Yeah. Thanks so much for catching this video. I will talk to you guys soon. Please be sure to share if you found value. If you are not following me, please make sure you're following me, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Oh, you learned the hard way? Yeah, I understand. Everybody does. But it's a lesson that you learned, and now you know better. There are some people that still just don't understand when it comes to certain things. Like I said, it's your business card. So if you follow me on all these platforms, but you're not on those platforms, you may have some people that will come back to you and say, well, I tried to follow you on such and such, but you haven't been up there since December. So yeah, you have to be careful and aware of that. So anywho, thanks for joining. Thanks for chatting with me. Appreciate the hearts. And I will talk to you guys soon.